The Apostle Paul was going about his day when suddenly he was caught in a time warp and beamed to the year 2015. Now he's the Apostle Time Traveler! Scientists have been working hard to find Paul's location. We have searched all the obvious places where we think an apostle would be. Churches, Christian conferences, Bible studies, and so forth, and we haven't located him yet.
Dr. Science.
What is it, Professor Assistant?
I found him. Look.
He appears to be at a coffee shop. What is he doing?
It appears he's just talking to that man.
Interesting.
And look, yesterday he spent the day talking to this couple at a park. He called them friends.
Friends? Friends? The mighty Apostle Paul traveled across centuries, and he's going around making friends?
It looks that way.
I'm so confused. Somebody needs to teach that man what an apostle is supposed to do.
Contrary to what religious Christianity has taught you, genuine equippers, apostles, prophets, evangelists, pastors, and teachers are the most down-to-earth, ordinary, familiar, and relatable people you will ever meet.
Like this guy?
No. They make themselves of no reputation and refuse to be over you or to take control of you. They know that ranks, titles, and quest to be a somebody stand in the way of them being able to enter your world and love you as you are. They know that it's only through love and influence as a friend and an equal that they'll see Christ formed in you.
Wow!
They don't just preach about love, they actually live the words of Jesus to love others. Because of this, they thrive on genuine connections with others. For a true equipper, speaking to large crowds is not their ideal way to teach. Rather, they much prefer one-on-one connections or gathering with small groups where everybody can be themselves, ask questions, and all can give and receive from one another. They realize that this is how people grow best.
Hey, that sounds like this guy I heard of, who hung out with 12 other guys and spoke to a woman at a well.
You're right, my good man. That's how Jesus lived. Doesn't it only make sense that his equippers look and function like him? They are true servants, not just paying lip service to that, but they actually live it. Let's face it. Many call themselves servants and are even called servants by others, but they are actually kings, governing by the same top-down chains of command and authority as the world. Jesus specifically said not to do this. This doesn't mean somebody who doesn't follow Jesus' teaching on this is going to act like a monster.
I'm the leader.
But let's face it, even a good king is still a king, and exercising top-down authority, even with the best of intentions, is very damaging to the body of Christ. Few are able to resist the temptation to be a notch or two above their brethren, and it doesn't help that much of the church is looking for human kings to follow.
Wow, you sure know a lot about the Bible and you talk real good. Will you be my king?
With great humility and brokenness, I accept God's call upon my life to be your king. Only, call me pastor.
One of the main reasons we so easily overlook the genuine equippers is because they seem so ordinary. Religion has taught us to look for spiritual heavyweights who are truly in action when they take the stage. But Jesus showed us that genuine equippers are truly in action when they're doing the regular things of life. Because of our misconception, many think talent in front of an audience is the mark of being an equipper. So people will send off checks to folks they don't even know who preach good sermons, and not even give a thought about the mature brother or sister in Christ who is right in front of them, loving them, pouring into their lives, and watching out for them. When the thought of giving financially to that person enters their minds, they quickly dismiss it.
But that's just Bill.
There is a reason why Paul said to know those who labor among you. Talent isn't the mark of an equipper. Love for Christ and others is. True equippers are gifts to the body of Christ, straight from Jesus. Paul makes this clear in Ephesians 4. He gave them to his church to bring us to maturity in him. How do we treat the gifts from God's hands? Do we cherish them? Or do we toss them aside like a kid with his new toys a month after Christmas? Believe it or not, there are sound reasons why Jesus set up his church so that equippers are supported by the body. First, it's a clear reminder that they are the least among us. It keeps them in their rightful place. They are servants, slaves who serve the body of Christ. They aren't hirelings. We aren't hiring them to do a job. They don't receive a set salary. Rather, like slaves, they carry on with their labors on whatever support they're given. We give to them whatever we purpose in our hearts, and they use that to take care of their needs, like food and rent. And just like slave masters, we can make the lives of our servants, the equippers, easy or difficult based on how generous we choose to be. This is why Paul says that those elders, another word that can be used for equippers, who labor well are worthy of double honor. He's simply saying that those who serve us well should be compensated well.
Here you go, Bill. Thanks, Frank.
This is how we show the equippers our gratitude for their work in our lives. Living this way also keeps equippers completely dependent on Father and having to listen to Him. They have to hear from Him where they're supposed to go and clearly see what Father is doing. It's no easy thing to agree to fly out to meet with a group of believers when you've got nothing but lint in your pockets. They have to live trusting Father. There is little room for them to follow their own agendas. These aren't the charlatans of the past milking the church to live comfortable lives.
Sow your seed into my ministry and God will give you a special blessing.
No. They're the real deal, true servants. In the business world, who is greater, the one who writes the checks or the one who receives them? Equippers living on our support is evidence that they are beneath us. Dr. Steve Crosby pointed out that the untold damage done by the body of Christ living in the West to the rest of the world in the 19th and 20th centuries could have been avoided if missionaries, who are equippers sent to other countries, would have lived the way Jesus instructed. In recent centuries, the empowered and informed went to the unempowered and uninformed, declaring, "You need what I have." This created a proud class of lords and a lowly class of natives. It looked far more like imperialism than the family of God. Rather, Jesus sent his equippers with nothing for their own sustenance. This forced equality and mutuality of need. The equippers needed sustenance, and those to whom they were sent needed their message. Jesus' way deals with the pride of the giver and the humiliation of the receiver, thereby making peace. Western values are not kingdom values. So how do we treat the equippers in our lives? Do we make it easier or more difficult for them to serve his body? We answer that question with our pocketbooks.